I just bought this 2010 Suzuki Jimny from WeBuyCars. It had a DEKRA Gold report with no roadworthy relevant issues, and the report said everything is either very good or good. Now, after driving it for 300 kilometers, I can report back that the DEKRA report was less than honest. So was this a big mistake? Stay tuned to find out. Spoiler alert, whenever you browse the WeBuyCars website, don't wear your rose-tinted glasses. Now, I've been looking for a Jimny like this forever for my dad, because he's been wanting to trade his Condor for my wife's white Jimny, which she said will never happen. So when I saw this one on WeBuyCars website for 108,000 Rand with a gold DEKRA report and the cleanest DEKRA report I've ever seen, I thought I'd had to take a look. Now, it is a 3-hour drive from where we live, so I paid a holding deposit for 48 hours and went to inspect the car myself. I test drove it, had a quick look inside, everything looked fine, and eventually paid for it and drove it home without any issues. So let's quickly run through a few issues. The first thing is the bonnet has been resprayed, and so has this bottom black grille part. And then here at the back, you might not be able to see it, but there's a slight dent. Now, the body said very good, and I would argue that is just as expected, or maybe just even good. Then there are these lights that are not connected to anything. That's fine. But if you look at the dash here, someone did a DIY job, so there's these switches that doesn't do anything. There's a hole, and the central locking doesn't work, except it does work with this aftermarket switch. Now, I would argue that's not very good, not even good, at least as expected. You can see this radio, the aftermarket radio was fitted skew, it's more to the left. So again, not very good, I'd say as expected or even poor. There was a check engine light that came on as I drove home from the WeBuyCars branch. I cleared it, and again it came on back after about 100 kilometers. Luckily, it's due to the catalytic converter that was removed, so it's something I'll be able to fix myself. Then another issue that popped up after only 300 kilometers is that it idles erratically. You can see there it's a bit low, it stumbles a bit. Now, it runs good when you are anything off idle, and the fuel consumption is 12 kilometers per liter, which is good. But at idle, there's something wrong, and I suspect there's an air leak or a dirty idle air control valve. Now, one thing that might cause it to fail the roadworthy are these dark windows. You can't see through them, and I don't think that's legal. I don't think it'll fail, but that could be an issue. It doesn't look as dark now. The steering wheel has a bit of wear there, which is fine, but it's also loose from the frame inside. Now, that I would argue is not very good or good even. I'd say that is either as expected or even poor. There's a trim piece missing from the rear brake light. And if you come over to the driver's seat, while this is not bad for 215,000 kilometers, it's definitely not very good or good. This is definitely as expected for a car of this age. And so is this thing that's hanging there, it's stretched out. As expected, not very good. So the question is, do I regret buying this Jimny? Was it a total lemon? No, I don't think so. I love it, and I would actually keep it for myself as it is, but I would not give it to my dad like this. There's a few issues that I have to fix first. The first thing is to sort out that erratic idle, and I want to make sure that that engine code, that P0140 code for the catalytic converter, doesn't come back on. So that's my job for the next video. Some of the things that this Jimny has got going for it is it has aftermarket suspension. It looks like the Desol lift kit. That's new springs and those green safari shocks. It has 215 75 or 15 general grabbers. That's pretty new. I think it was fitted last year according to the invoices. It's got this roof rack, that's at least 6,000 to 8,000 Rand. I think the shocks alone, or the suspension, is about 18,000 Rands worth of goodies. It also has an aftermarket touchscreen radio. Whether you like it or not, that's at least 2.5 grand. So someone loved this car and spent a lot of money on it. And it's pretty clean. I mean, the seats are fine, the interior is clean. I think someone smoked in it before, but the body is pretty straight. The undercarriage, it doesn't look like it did off-road even. The 4x4 works perfect. So overall, for a Suzuki Jimny, I think this car is pretty awesome. But it's not the gold standard that I was promised on the DEKRA report. So the big lesson is, when you browse cars on the WeBuyCars website, do not put your trust in that DEKRA report. I know you've heard this before. Yes, it's a good indication of the overall condition of the car, but you have to go and inspect it. And when you go and inspect it, don't be in a rush like I was. Take your time, crawl under the car, take it for a long test drive, make sure you fiddle with everything, and compare it to cars. Ideally compare it to a car similar to this that you've seen before that's in good condition, which I have done. My wife has one. We've driven it for 110,000 kilometers over 10 years. So I know what a Jimny should feel like, but I still bought it and I still like it. I still think it's a good deal at this price. If my dad doesn't take it, I'm pretty sure I'll make a profit flipping it. Someone will want it, especially with these aftermarket goodies. So let me know what you think. Did I buy a lemon, or was this a good deal? So stay tuned for videos on all the fixes and a few comparisons with a stock standard Jimny that we've owned for many years. Thank you for watching. See you next week.